Yo, welcome back guys for another video. Today what we're gonna talk about is new must-have units in Anime Vanguards update 0.5. If you enjoyed this video, then please don't forget to like and subscribe because we are going to make tons of videos like this, and also we're going to do Game Pass giveaways if we reach certain subscriber milestones, so don't forget to like and subscribe. And without further ado, let's get this video started. Number 1, Takara. This is going to be one of the units that, in my opinion, you should get in this new update because Takara is a very good unit and will also give you a lot of gold. From what I have seen, I believe he will give more gold than Sprint Wagon. Sprint Wagon might be better in some other game modes, but in my opinion, overall, Takara gives more gold. Like in game modes like in Infinite and Raids, Takara probably gives more. So Takara is a very powerful unit that you can use in game modes. He will give you around 10,000 gold, which is kind of why he is in this list. Albeit he is in the top of this list, right? He's in number 5. Okay, number 5 or number 1. He's a unit that you need to get, but you could probably live without. The next one in this update is going to be Bean. Now the reason why Bean is in here is because Bean's only a legendary, but Bean has a bleed attack. And basically what bleed does is bleed actually gets rid, or doesn't get rid really. It doesn't really get rid, but it does help with regen. And regen is actually a crazy thing here in Anime Vanguard, so you're gonna need units that has bleed that can counter that. So if you don't have Alucard, Bean's a good alternative. I think there's only a few bleed units out there. Burn is also a good alternative, so maybe units like Obito can also work. But oftentimes for beginners, if you're a beginner playing this update, try and get Bean because it's a pretty good unit. So if you got a good, you don't have that many good units, try and get Bean because he's pretty good for regen units, and he is very crazy. For the third spot, you have a very interesting unit, which is going to be Blossom. Now, Blossom is here because there's a new game mode, new mechanic that was introduced in this update that, in my opinion, should just get removed because it's actually so bad. It's called Snare, and Snare is basically a debuff. So the only way you could actually fix or get out of Snare, the only way you could actually get out of that debuff that basically prevents your units from moving, is by using a unit that can cleanse debuff, and there's only a few of them. Mainly Blossom or Sakura is one of the newer ones. He can clear you from that, which is actually kind of cool. And then on top of that, she's also just an epic unit, so she's a very good support unit overall. She's probably gonna be top of the meta in terms of support because of that ability. So yeah, Blossom is going to be third. And for the fourth, you have Jin Wu. Now the reason why I'm adding a new unit right here, or an old unit right here like Jin Wu, is because the newer units like Tengen, they're very powerful, they're very good, but from what I've heard, Jin Wu is actually much more useful. And the reason why Jin Wu is gonna be in here is because some of these other game modes are actually incredibly hard without units like Jin Wu. So that's actually one of the reasons why I'm recommending people to get Jin Wu still. Like if you're a new player and still don't have him, please get him because he's super good in this update. There's a lot of new content that's very hard, and you're gonna need him in order to play this updates. So there's units that could probably be better than him still. I think Igris, actually no, he actually has more DPS than Igris because of his ability, but he is also cheaper than Igris, which is actually, and he's also easier to get, which is why he's here and Igris is not. So if you can get Jin Wu, definitely get Jin Wu. Then the last must-have unit in this update is going to be Akaza. Now, in terms of DPS, Akaza is actually the strongest unit in the strongest unit in the entire game. I think in terms of DPS, Akaza might be the strongest unit. This is a screenshot of Akaza. I believe he now does more than this. I think it now does 31,500 damage. This is Evolved Ethereal Akaza at level 50, and he is 4 placements, so 31,000 damage. If you times that by 4, that's gonna be around 120,000, and he's only 1,300, so he's also very cheap. So in my opinion, Akaza is actually much better now. I think he's doing higher DPS than even most of the secrets, or both of the secrets. So Akaza, when he is evolved, is very powerful with the right traits and also I think the right stats. So Akaza is pretty good. Again, like I've mentioned, probably the strongest unit in the game right now, according to some of the DPS stuff that I've seen. But also, Akaza is pretty easy to get because he's a banning unit. The other units like Tengen, pretty good actually. He's probably going to be an honorable mention, but I don't think he's good enough to be on this list. I just don't think Tengen has enough uses to be on this list. And again, this is also just my personal opinion. You could definitely still get Tengen if you want to, but I think the units that are in this list are probably slightly better. Even units like Bean will probably have a little bit more use because he can get rid of the burn, right? So I'm actually gonna do that right now. I'm gonna equip where's Bean? I'm gonna unequip. Alright, we're gonna go test it out in Act 3 and see what happens. Okay, raid. It's time to see what happens with our units. So again, Bean is pretty low level, but I think it's pretty good even though he's pretty low level. I'll probably just place him down, get some damage early on going. He does have very high DPS, or he does have very high range. Placed already, so he can start doing bleed. Obviously, his damage isn't that good. As you guys can see right there, his damage is actually counteracting the bleed or the regen. So he's able to counteract or able to somewhat reduce the regen of the enemies, and he's only level 1. So if I place him like one more time here, yeah. This is just a level 1 Bean unit. It's actually kind of crazy how good he is. Yeah, it's actually surprisingly crazy just how crazy Bean is. And he's just a legendary unit. Okay, and then after that, we're gonna place one Jin Wu there. Alright, and one Akaza there to help out. Then we're gonna place Takara there for the gold. Takara is gonna be in here for some gold. 250, and then we're gonna play some other units there. Oh, I forgot, I should have equipped Blossom, but I don't really need Blossom in this map. Blossom's only really good in map 4. There's some maps that don't have those debuffs, so I don't really need Blossom in this map right here. Then we're gonna put another pro gamer right there and upgrade our Takara. Actually, I think Tengen's still pretty good. Still do get Tengen, but I think Tengen's like still a very good unit. But in my opinion, the reason why I didn't put him here is because this is my own personal opinion. I wanted to make a unique list. I didn't want to just list all the mythics. But in my opinion, Tengen's still pretty good. Tengen is still a very great unit. But for example, as you guys can see right here, Bean as a legendary unit is doing a lot of help too. So yeah, I guess you could experiment, but I think this list right here are units that you should have still, because in my opinion they are pretty meta. Bean is a pretty good unit for beginners, which is why I listed him here, because I wanted beginners to also see this video and also have an option, because he is probably the best legendary unit right now. Some game modes, some units just have a different like setup in my opinion, and different placements too. But yeah, so far so good. Those are the 5 units that you need in this update, or must have units. Anyways, that's gonna be it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and that's gonna be it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, everybody.